Hello, my name is David Ansara of the Center for Risk Analysis. I'm joined today by my colleague Gerbrandt van Heerden, who's an analyst in our team. And Gerbrandt is joining us to discuss the latest report from the Center for Risk Analysis. It's the macro review report, and this month it's focused on the South African consumer under the lockdown. And what the report reveals is some quite frightening data on the state of the South African consumer. Consumer spending is down, indebtedness levels have gone up, and really a main driver of this is the government-imposed economic lockdown, which has led to the loss of millions of jobs. So, Gerbrandt, why don't you give us just a brief summary of the report and some of the key findings that you've discovered?
Thank you very much, David. So one of the key takeaways from the report is that the South African economy is especially highly dependent on consumers. So when consumer spending declines, we can expect the economy to decline as well. Now, there are various factors that are putting pressure on consumers and their household finances. Of course, the lockdown, as you've mentioned, has led to a series of job losses. Another factor is a bad policy environment. South Africa's or the South African government's poor policy decisions have led to increase of unemployment, high debt levels, poor savings rate amongst consumers, and that was before the pandemic even reached our shores. And so as consumers have come under pressure, we've seen them change their spending behavior. And it's especially durable and semi-durable goods that have suffered in the retail sector. We've seen consumers focusing more on basic necessities such as medical care and food. And there's also, of course, a shift online shift in how people do or work now, and so it's mainly people in the informal sector and people in the working classes who don't have access to the internet who will suffer the most during the lockdown.
So, Gerbrandt, in terms of unemployment, what effects have we seen over this period of the lockdown?
We've seen, when we look at a study done by an organization titled the National Incomes Dynamic Survey study, they determined that in February, 17 million people were employed this year, but then by April this year, only 14 million people were employed. So that's a decline of 18%. And it's mainly people in the informal sector, those who are less educated, and those who live in poorer households who have especially been impacted. The study also showed the number of people furloughed. That's people who've kept their jobs but receiving no pay. And depending on how well the government or how well South Africa bounces back from the crisis, we can expect those temporary layoffs to become permanent. So those are figures to watch.
Okay, those are significant concerns. So you mentioned, Gerbrandt, that the policy environment is not enabling for growth, even prior to the pandemic and the crisis that followed. So what kinds of policy interventions should the government be pursuing to unlock growth and to bring us out of this crisis?
I think it's very important for the government to make it easier for individuals to start a business. South Africa ranks at the bottom in world rankings when it comes to starting a business, in terms of negotiating wages, in terms of hiring and firing practices. So we don't have a very flexible labor market. And that has been one of the main reasons why small businesses have struggled in this country of ours. So I think it's very important that the government, after the crisis, or at least I think they should start doing it now, actually. They should start removing regulations and government red tape and make it much easier for the man on the ground to become independent and start his own little organization.
Gerbrandt, thank you very much. For those of you watching, please like and subscribe to this channel for more insight and analysis from the center. But if you would like to gain access to our client webinars and the report that Gerbrandt is referring to, you can sign up as a subscriber to the CRA. We have a promotional free 30-day trial running at the moment for individual subscribers. So if you sign up, you'll get access to the full suite of reports and webinars that we run. But until next time, take care. And Gerbrandt, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us.